What's going on, horror gang? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host Marcus. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about Hank Loomis and why he could be a potential wild card in a whole new Scream trilogy. Before I do that, let's hit that intro. I shot him 6 times. Alright gang, so let's dig into it. So, Hank Loomis. We have not seen the character Hank Loomis since Scream 1996 in a handful of scenes, and now with the release of Scream 5, we know now that Hank Loomis obviously has a granddaughter in Samantha Carpenter, and one would have to wonder, would this prompt to see the character of Hank Loomis to return in Scream 6 or Scream 7? Now keep in mind we haven't got confirmation of a Scream 7, but we're just going to go with the premise that this is a new Scream trilogy. So we're going to go with the premise that Hank Loomis could come back in Scream 6 or 7. That being said, I do believe that this character has a lot of interesting backstory that we could dig into to bring into this new Scream trilogy to blend in with the new story. Now, why I say that is because we already have Samantha who's tied to the past, etc. You know, what would it be any different if we brought another character from the past to blend in with the storyline? Now, also keep in mind, this is kind of the MO of Scream. You know, everything ties back to the original. Everything always ties back to the original. In the original Scream trilogy, you've seen it. Obviously, Billy Loomis, you know, with Maureen Prescott, Mrs. Loomis in part 2, and then Roman Bridger in part 3. Hell, even in part 4 with Jill trying to recreate the original 96, you know, ending, whatever, in her own fashion, whatever you want to call it. So, with that being said, why Hank Loomis is a wild card and why he could be very important in a whole new Scream trilogy is this. Remember, if we're going to still operate, even though Spyglass, I'm sure, is going to implement their own style of rules, whatever you want to call it, etc. If they're making a new trilogy, we are still going to be operating on original trilogy rules. And remember, one of the big things, if not the biggest thing of trilogy rules, is everything we thought that we knew to be true isn't true. Now, why I say that in reference to Hank Loomis is, okay, well, if you look at Hank Loomis's character bio, it's revealed that he was a lawyer for Sunrise Studios. The very same studios that Maureen Prescott was an actress at. Why this piece of information is very significant is because I feel like a lot of us Scream fans in the community have been so focused on Milton being Roman Bridger's father. And I'm not saying that that's wrong or that's impossible, but keep in mind, we never got confirmation of that being true. Never got confirmation that John Milton was the father of Roman Bridger. And why, you might ask, why? What does this have to do with Hank Loomis? Think about it, guys. If Hank Loomis was the lawyer for Milton at Sunrise Studios, that means he would have access to the actors and the actresses. He'd probably be the one negotiating their contracts or deals, what have you. So that would mean he could have met Maureen Prescott at that point in time. And if that's the case, what if after meeting Maureen Prescott, he followed her back to Woodsboro? And they continued to, you know, see each other and continue their affair there. It's not an impossible thing. Once again, guys, we never got confirmation who Roman Bridger's real father is. And why I think that this piece of information of Hank Loomis being a lawyer at Sunrise Studios is so important is because now it opens up a lot of questions. What if Hank is the father of Roman? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if the Hank Loomis character were to come back and they would do a real deep dive omnious into his background, into the whole Sunrise Studio thing, you know, him being a shady lawyer, what have you? could you imagine if it was revealed that Roman Bridger is the son of Hank Loomis? That would flip the entire franchise on its head. The entire franchise on its head. Because once again, it would be telling you everything you thought that was true about this franchise is not true. And I firmly believe that Hank Loomis, I'm not saying here gonna flat out say he's Roman Bridger's father. I just want to say that I think it's something we should take into account. It's something that we should take a look at. And why that would be important is obviously because then obviously Roman Bridger would be Billy Loomis's brother. And to some degree, Sidney Prescott would be, no, not necessarily, no, because obviously different fathers, you know, etc. But you get the gist of it. I think this character has so much backstory that they can dig into for this new Scream trilogy that, you know, we could be seeing history repeat itself. Like I said, guys, everything ties back to the original. Everything always goes back to the original. They made a big point of that in Scream 5. They made a big point of that in the Scream trilogy, in the original Scream trilogy. So it would not surprise me if they would take this route with bringing Hank Loomis back and digging into his background. And what if we do find out he's Roman Bridger's dad? Man, that would be insane. That would be insane. That would set the blueprint for everything we think we know, we don't. And that means all the rules would be thrown out the window. Everything would be, all the cards would be laid down then. The gauntlet would be laid. There would be no limitations to where you can go story arc wise if you could pull something like that off and you could make it make sense. Because it would flip the entire franchise on its head. And then also, keep in mind, Samantha Carpenter is his granddaughter. What does he not know about her? Does he know about her? Has he been neglecting her this whole time? This character has a lot of backstory that I think that Radio Silence and Spyglass Media should do their due diligence on bringing this character back, and let's peel the curtain back on this character, and let's see the real Hank Loomis. Let's see who Hank Loomis really is. I am so fascinated, more now so than ever, by this character, giving the background that I've read upon about him. He's a lawyer at Sunrise Studio, the same studio as Maureen Prescott. Things happen and she gets pregnant, you know, and has Roman Bridger. Like, things are just too coincidental. That I think that if you do it the right way, you can definitely implement it in this new Scream trilogy, and it can affect everything. It could affect Cindy, it could affect Samantha, it's going to affect the entire story and the entire franchise. Alright gang, that's it for this video. Hit the comment section, I want to hear from you. Do you think Hank Loomis should return? And if he does return, do you think Spyglass Media should do a deep dive obvious into the backstory of Hank Loomis's character? Or do you think that he should only come back in a limited role, maybe meet Samantha and then his character gets killed off? Or do you think that we can just go entirely without Hank Loomis returning and you don't want to see this character at all? Hit the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about Hank Loomis' potential to be in the wild card for this new Scream trilogy. Alright gang, once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube Horror Movie channel. I'm your host Marcus. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon. Your support is greatly appreciated, as well as follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for watching, and again, thank you for the support.